if you remember, e to the x, natural log of x, those are a couple of my favorite derivatives. And so now we're going to be taking a look at those, but for the integral. So I do want to talk about, if you notice, here's a list of all of the rules that we need to know. But what I want to talk about is that power rule. If x is to the -1, you might have noticed this or thought about this. And you'll notice this won't work, because if we add 1 to the exponent, you get x to the 0 over 0 plus c. And that's why the power rule, it is not going to work for a power of -1. So what do you do in that situation? Well, if you remember, what is x to the power of -1 going to be? It's going to be 1 over x. Now remember, this is an antiderivative. What was the derivative of natural log of x? Derivative of natural log of x was 1 over x, right? So the antiderivative of 1 over x is going to be natural log of x. Now they do put that absolute value sign there because x can't be negative. But just a little notational there. But just remember, derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x. So the antiderivative of 1 over x is going to be natural log of x. So they kind of switch that around. E to the x is the best because the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. So the antiderivative of e to the x is e to the x. So very simple. Don't overthink that. So I am going to break these down step by step and separate the integrals. I told you whenever you did the polynomials in the last unit not to worry about it so much. But when you get to things like this, it does make a little bit more sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. So let's break this down. What we'll have is the integral of 5e to the x plus the integral of -2 over x. And I forgot my dx. I always do that. Surprising I even passed calculus. I think I got a D in the class. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and constant multiple rule, bring the 5 out to the front. Bring that -2 out to the front. And then now you can see it. Antiderivative of e to the x is just going to be e to the x. Antiderivative of 1 over x is going to be natural log of x. Don't forget that little absolute value sign there, right? And so we'll just have the 5 in front, -2, and then plus c, and then look for that answer. And they're trying to confuse us a bit here, but d is going to be our answer, right? And I don't know where that 2 would come from. We're not plugging anything into the x. We're just following right along with those formulas. You could take a look at this one. Very, very similar. Not really, that's just going to be 2 natural log of x minus 4e to the x plus c. So just find that answer there. And that's pretty much it as far as e to the x natural log. Just be careful. Sometimes we want to use the power rule. We run into this situation. And what's nice is you're like, wait a minute. You can't divide by 0. So sometimes, and I see students do that, and that's the way I remembered. And then you got to think of it and then be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Derivative of natural log of x is 1 over x. So I got to resort to natural log instead.